Welcome to the Mormon to Medium podcast, where we'll talk about spirituality, the paranormal, religion, and my journey going from Mormon to medium. I'm Nanette Ride. Thanks for listening. Now let's go have some fun.
Don't be afraid. Close your eyes. There's a moon overhead, but the sun will rise.
Welcome to the Mormon to Medium podcast. We're your hosts, Brad and Nan.
Hello, everybody.
We hope you're having a great week. We are going to talk about some crazy shit today.
Are we?
Yeah.
What kind of crazy shit?
I don't know. You want to talk about ghosts, or do you want to talk about some of my awesome experiences with my clients?
Well, either or. You just set me up for crazy shit, so I'm literally waiting for the crazy shit.
Okay, so we can talk about all of it, maybe, if we do it quickly.
If we do it quickly. Yeah, you've got a limited amount of time.
I know, and I'm a jabberjaw.
We are not a long format interview show.
No, thank God. Nobody would listen.
No, they'd be like, oh my hell, we can only manage 15 minutes of these two.
Do they ever shut up?
They're really going to go on for 3 hours? Jeez, oh, Pizzo.
I don't think we could talk for 3 hours and not be ishy, mishy, gushy.
Yeah, we could absolutely talk for 3 hours. No problem.
Nah.
And then some.
Okay, so we lately had a haunting in our house. It was really crazy because it was, whoever it was giving me a lot of shit.
Well,
So.
You better set it up. We had a ton of people in the home during the holidays. And, you know, as people do, they always bring their own emotions and spiritual baggage, right? So you've got emotional, spiritual baggage that comes with everybody.
I'm just going to say it's energy.
Yeah.
They just bring their own energy.
Same.
Yeah.
And usually when people come to the house, we'll sage them off and you know, be weird before they even come in the house.
And we're religious about it. It's, yeah.
But we did not this time for the holidays. We're like, oh, whatever,
No.
We've got so much going on. And I think that we just had some weird shit come in.
Yeah. So I could hear something or someone walking around upstairs from our room. And when I would get to a certain part in our upstairs, I could feel something there, and I would get the head to toe body chills. And so I kind of, you know, when you know something's there and you don't want to look at it and you kind of act like you're scared and you run past it really fast and shut the door. That's what I was doing. Because I didn't want to see anything.
It freaked you out?
Freaked me out.
It freaked out the Mormon to medium lady?
Yes.
That's pretty
I didn't
bad.
like the way it felt at all, but I knew right where it was. And so I kind of just avoided that and then would walk around it and then walk into the room. And I kept telling you we needed to sage.
Yeah.
But
Well, and a lot of this happened while I was
out of town.
Yeah, out of town. It seems like if weird stuff happens, it's usually when I'm not here.
Oh, yeah. The spirits pick on me big time when I'm alone in the house. My chicken dog doesn't let me know what's going on.
Well, she doesn't even go to check for noises. She just hangs out
She
and
just
is like,
hangs out with me.
I'm going to lay on the bed. You go check it out.
Exactly. She's
You're
like, I'm not going in the other room.
Yeah, what kind of guard dog are you? You let us know when someone rings the doorbell. That's it.
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah. That's the sum.
Yeah. Chicken Little.
So this one night, Brad was congested. He'd been traveling and stuff, and so he was congested, and he was snoring so loud. Like literally, I wear earplugs, and it was so loud it went through the earplugs, and I think it was rattling the windows. It was so bad. And so I was like, okay, I absolutely cannot do this. So I grab my pillow and I grab my phone and I start to trudge up the stairs. And I know the spot. I know it. And so I hurried past the spot into the room.
So let's back up on that spot. What does the spot feel like? Because you're like, I know this spot. I understand what it feels like. What does it feel like? What are you getting? What are you picking up?
It's like a actual change in the feeling of the room. So you can feel calm, and then walk into an area and it feels upset. It feels heavy, like not the calm feeling anymore. And then every hair on your head and your body stands on end. And you're like, yeah, I don't like that. I don't want to feel like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is like 2:00 in the morning. And so I'm like, I go down the hall and I say out loud, I do not want to be fucked with. Don't mess with me. I am tired. I just want to sleep.
And she was not saying that to me.
No, I was saying it to whatever was standing there because I could feel it, but I don't want to see it. And I just wanted to go to sleep. I was dead tired. And so I go in, I shut the door, I go in, and literally I go to sleep, have a nightmare, wake up in a panic. And I'm like, okay, that's really weird because I don't have nightmares. And usually my dreams mean things and usually they come true. So I go back to sleep, have another nightmare, wake up in a panic. And this happens through the whole night, probably 9 or 10 times. I go back to sleep, nightmare, wake up, go back to sleep, nightmare, wake up. And it didn't let up. And so when the next morning came, I go to Brad and I said, something messed with me all night long. And we need to sage this whole house. Like something's up there. I don't like it. And it messed with me all night and made me have nightmares all night long. I'm exhausted. I was more exhausted the day before. And now it's worse. Okay. So go on with our day. We both work. We do everything. And then that night, Brad snores again.
And we had not saged yet. We hadn't done anything because
we had such a long day.
Yeah, you get caught up with life and shit happens, right?
Yeah, yeah. But literally, like if I would let Voodoo out the front door, I could feel it watching me. I'm not kidding. I could feel it, and I would turn around and I would look up at the stairway, and I could feel it. And I'm just like, I wish it would stop staring at me. I wish it would stop watching me. I wish this would all just go away. But I knew that we needed to sage, and it takes us a long time to sage our house. Anyways, Brad starts to snore that night again, and I'm laying there going like, I do not want to go up the stairs. Don't want to go up the stairs. I don't want to have nightmares. Like literally, I do not want this. So I'm laying there and I'm tossing and turning.
I feel very personally attacked with all of this.
You
like,
should,
just
backskin.
Just because I snore doesn't mean you have to be so mean about it.
You know what, though? You weren't feeling good and you were really tired.
Snoring might be a disability and you might be crossing some labor law lines.
Labor law lines.
I'm a protected class, damn it.
An old man.
An old man. Yes.
Yeah, if you're over 50, it's
40.
Old.
It's 40. If you're over 40, you're a protected class.
Then you're ancient.
Yeah.
So what do you think I did?
You went to sleep?
No, I tossed and I turned for like an hour and a half. Still couldn't go to sleep because it was so loud. And I even tried like double plugging my ears and putting my face in the pillow and all of that. And it didn't work. And so finally I was like, fuck. And grab my pillow and grab my phone. And I come busting up the stairs. And the whole time I'm yelling at that thing, telling it to leave me alone. I don't want to have bad dreams. I'm exhausted and I'm pissed now. And I don't want to be effed with. Like literally. So if you're standing at the bottom of the bed, I went to the left side of the bed. Okay. And so I'm telling you this because they're
standing at the bottom of the bed, facing the bed or facing away? If
you're facing the bed,
okay.
I'm on the left side of the bed is where I get in.
Yeah.
Okay. I settle in. I have all my pillows around me and I get all my soft blankets and all the things and I lay there. And so my back is to the outside of the bed. I'm facing the inside of the bed. Okay.
Okay.
I barely close my eyes and I shit you not.
Oh, I thought you were just like, I barely close my eyes and I shit.
No. Oh.
Like, that's so gross, man.
It was an option though.
Because oh my gosh.
Something grabbed hold of my pillow that was on the top of my head. So like I have a pillow that I'm laying on, but then there's a pillow that's back behind me.
Right.
Something or someone grabbed that pillow and drug it down my whole entire back and then tucked it underneath my side and my back and underneath my hip, tucked me in and then pulled the blankets over me and tucked me in. And I was petrified at what I would see.
That sounds like a super considerate, sweet ghost.
Fuck that.
No. Like, tuck me in. Thank you.
No, especially after all the nightmares the night before. No, I did not want to know what I would see. So I kept my eyes closed like a little tiny kid and I started to pray to make it leave. And I heard it walk out of the room and shut the door. And I'm like, the door shut before. I'm freaking out. And then finally I'm like, okay, it's gone. It's gone. It's okay. Go to sleep. And then the next morning, Brad and Voodoo come upstairs and they jump on the bed and, everything's light and happy. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry that you had to spend the night up here again. Did you get messed with? And I'm like, oh, did I get messed with? And I explain it to him. And I'm like, I want you to go out into the hall and see what you feel. See if you have any reaction at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you've listened to previous episodes, you know that Brad has always been able to feel spirits. Like he literally gets philo-erection every single time. That's always...
Which is...
an erection.
It's goosebumps. You smartass. Somebody's just jumping in. They didn't...
It's a hard-on for the ghost.
If some episode, and so they're like, what in the hell are they talking about? It's goosebumps, people. Goosebumps.
It's not only goosebumps. It's every hair on your head, your body, everywhere stands on end. And so he walks out into the hall, and then he walks 1 foot into the other room, and then he looks at me, and he holds up his arm. He just goes, and his hair is standing straight up.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay. I said, okay, you feel it. And he goes, oh, yeah. And then he walks further into the room, and he goes, my whole body, everything. He goes, we need to sage now. And I was just like, okay, I'm glad it's not just me. And now I know we need to get rid of whatever this is. But it was so incredible, the change of energy once we did take the time to sage that day.
Yeah, once we cleared the house and went through and brought in the new positive energy and everything felt balanced again. It was,
right.
Okay, here's where our house should be. And look, we don't care if spirits live here, but God damn it, we've got to coexist. So don't keep us awake at night. Don't give us bad dreams, and don't mess with us.
Exactly. And we do have spirits that coexist with us. We've had spirits that turn the TV on when I walk in the door or flicker lights or whatever. And we're good with that. We're good. We coexist really well. But stuff like this, not okay. So not okay. But the change in the energy was just incredible, because after we got done, I walked through all the areas and Brad walked through all the areas of the house, and there was no upset energy. There was no philo-erection to be found. It was
completely
calm, and it's just so nice because I don't feel like I'm getting watched anymore. So if you have something like that in your home, saging is always a really good way to get rid of things like that. And especially if you've got people in there that might be carrying some little passengers, like sage.
Yeah.
And also re-infuse it with positive energy.
Yep. And there's a whole bunch of different processes for that. But yeah, it definitely made a huge difference in the way the house felt. It felt like us again.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really nice, really peaceful. Peaceful, easy feeling, huh, baby?
Yes, like the song you were listening to today. For those of you who don't know, Nan's favorite band in the whole world is actually the Eagles.
It is. It is. Literally, anytime I get upset or I get too quiet and Brad gets worried, he puts the Eagles on for me, and it helps me.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, what do we do with this?
Is she hungry or is she mad? Yeah. Which one?
So if you just play the Eagles, that eases it in, and then you can go, are you hungry or are you mad at me?
I hope you don't have to walk on eggshells like that for real.
Usually it's hungry, but every once in a while it's like,
it is hungry.
You know what? We need to talk. And then I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, shit.
You're so funny.
She's mad at me.
So I have to tell you, the last couple of months, I have had a lot of people that are grieving really deeply, speaking of spirits.
Mm. Yeah, I was going to ask, how are you segueing that?
Yeah,
just a random thought. There we go.
No, I was told something really, really cool. Actually, a couple of times by a couple of clients over the last couple of months. And they told me that the knowledge that they have and the proof that they have that their loved ones are still right here and that they can interact with them, and that they watch for the signs and they want to feel them. It's kind of a game changer in their grief process, because their grief is, it gives hope because they don't have to say goodbye for forever. It's just a different type of relationship, and it's learning about your spirituality so you can have a good relationship with them. Because without your spirituality, you
with
obviously
them,
can't
you
do that.
mean your loved ones
Those
who
that
have passed.
passed on to the other side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's exactly what I did with Corey. I was like, no, we can't be married for this long, for 18 years, be married. And then all of a sudden he's gone. That's bullshit. I call bullshit. And we have 5 kids. No. And that's how my journey started. I refused to believe that he was just gone and not a part of our life anymore, but he's very much a part of our life.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone, and we've talked about this a lot on the show, is everyone deals with grief in their own way, right?
Right.
So tell us about that first 5 years. What did that look like for you?
Well, for me, it was a lot of numb in the beginning because it's so shocking. To have your husband murdered is just devastating, and like how anyone could do something like that to someone so kind is just unfathomable. But then I also had the Mormon belief system to back it up. You know what I mean? That he was gone and he was, processing all the Mormon ways, and it just didn't feel right to me. I
He's
couldn't
got
swallow it.
Work to do on the other side.
Yeah, so he's going to go serve someone else, and fuck you, his family, fuck you. And I was like, no, I don't think so. I need him here. I have a 14-year-old daughter that needs her dad.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 17-year-old son that needs his dad. Like, where is he and how can he help me?
Yeah.
Type of thing. Like, he would never choose to do this. So where is he? And how can I get through? And there wasn't someone to guide me through that. So I think the first 5 years was extremely hard. I thank our creator above for you, because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. You helped me to navigate those treacherous waters of grief and of not wanting to be here, because it's a hopeless place to be. But when I get the opportunity to be able to do readings for my clients and to teach them how to get in touch with their loved ones, and it's literally death is an invitation to step into your spirituality, and it's really so beautiful, and it's really so natural. It's who we should be, but religion kind of cheats us out of it.
Elaborate on that. So you say death is an invitation to step into your spirituality. How so? What do you mean by that?
I think most people, when someone dies, they turn to their religion, and their beliefs around death. And what it really is energy never disappears. It just changes form, but it's still the same thing. So our loved ones, they're not physically here, but they're spiritually here, and learning how to tune into the frequency of that spirit, because everything's energy. So everything has a frequency. So learning to calm your grief and be able to get quiet and be able to tune into that frequency. You can hear them, you can smell them, you can see them, you can feel them. And sometimes it won't be all of those. Maybe it'll be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep practicing, they'll all come online, and you'll be able to have a different relationship with them. So now if I want to talk to Corey, better believe I'm calling him to me and we're having a conversation. And most of the time he's in trouble. So like, you need to go help this person. You need to do this. Like, I think
he's like, Nan, are you hungry or are you mad at me?
He's like, oh shit, I thought I don't have to deal with that anymore. But it's been really cool though to see the real raw grief of someone that's newly lost a loved one,
Mm-hmm.
and just that suffocating grief that happens, and then for you to watch them grow and blossom and be able to be like, oh my gosh, it's like a conversation. How's so and so today? Have you seen so and so today? Like, it's a normal thing to talk about. What signs have you gotten lately? Type of thing,
Right.
instead of tiptoeing.
You've had a lot of clients who have been widows.
Widows, lost, boyfriends, children, all different kinds of stuff. Like, it's not just widows. Everybody is going to be touched by death. Everyone, just like everyone is touched by birth.
That's a good point.
So learning how to navigate it in a healthy way, I think, is key. It's most important.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I think I do need to explain what I said. So Nan has a lot of client stories, but she never divulges details of who, what. So they're very anecdotal stories.
That's by design.
Yeah.
Because my clients know that when we sit in a room, it's like HIPAA. It doesn't go out of the room, and I don't tell their stories. They're not mine to tell. But I can tell how their lives have touched mine, how their ripple has touched mine. And kind of an overview of the types of clients that I see, the types of people that I get to help. And their journey is all individual, right? But it's such a sacred place to be able to witness every single time.
Well, and I think it's important for people to understand that, hey, this is a private setting, and it's not something where judgment is sent, and it's not something where what you say goes out of that room. So I think as a result of that, you've got some really powerful things that have happened with you.
The saying, you find your vibe, you find your tribe.
Yeah.
I believe my tribe comes to me, and I have the coolest clients that ever drew a breath of air. They are badass warriors. They show up for themselves. They're brave. They're willing to move old stagnant energy out of their energy field and call new into them.
Well, and a lot of people don't realize that most of that stagnant old energy is stagnant because of traumas. So when people come to you, they have to work through some of those traumas.
Yes.
So it's, people will go to talk therapy for years to work through the traumas that you help people process in just a couple sessions. Exactly.
Yeah. And the thing with trauma, you have to heal body, mind, and soul. And the kind of energy work that I do.
It's a three-legged stool. We've talked about that. It's a three-legged stool.
If you haven't heard it before, it heals all three. So after a balance, though, you'll process things in your mind for probably a good week to 2 weeks. It just depends on how deep the balance was. But that's you processing in your mind, right? And you have to remember you're releasing. And whatever feelings you have, you release them. If you need to scream or punch somebody or cry or whatever, you give yourself grace to do it. But during the balance, I'm working with the energy, which is spirit, and I'm releasing muscles from trauma. So the fight or flight is no longer there. And the body takes a big, deep breath and is like, oh my gosh, I can breathe. I'm safe. Oh my gosh. And it's amazing to see, because then people's pain goes away, and then they start to be able to think clearly. And then they're like, wait a second, I feel so good. How about my loved ones? How do I talk to them? What do I do? Because I think that the energy balancing makes you step into your spirituality too. They kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, they do. Well, and a lot of people just focus on the health benefits of a balance.
Oh,
right?
well, there's that too.
I mean, that's a big deal as well.
Yes.
But a lot of people just look at it that way. They don't realize, oh, wait, there's this other side to it. And I think that's one of the things that makes your practice really cool, is you've got that spirituality side.
Right. Yeah, it's very unique. I was asked in the last couple of weeks if there's anybody else in town that does what I do. And I can honestly say no, that there isn't anyone that does what I do, because I take different modalities, one of which is very, very, very rare to even learn. And so I don't even know anybody that actually practices it, other than the person that taught me it. And then the Touch for Health that I will be doing classes in, I do those modalities, but then I do my psychic medium stuff on top of that and bring in a very spiritual experience every single time. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing, and it's spiritual all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and if other people wanted to learn to do this, Nan does have classes that are posted on her website. You can click the link in the show notes and go to that and see about her classes and sign up to come and take classes with her.
Right. Some of the classes will be held on Zoom, but if you actually want to do hands-on, I'm doing in-person classes, and there's a limited amount of people in those classes. So if you want to get into those classes, make sure you sign up because they're filling up.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see the people reaching out to you to say, hey, tell me about these.
Right. It's so fun. It's going to be so fun to have people, have these tools in their own tool chest to be able to use on their family, their pets, their kids, everyone, and be able to keep balance in the home. You can even balance a house. Did you know that?
Actually, I did, but some of our listeners might not have.
Yeah. Even if you're a real estate agent, ding, ding, pro tip, you could balance the homes you're trying to sell and they will sell faster. It's really cool.
Well, and you can even use that as a tool to help arrive at the best sales point.
Exactly.
As far as a dollar amount.
And to clean some energy, old stagnant energy out of houses.
Yeah, people feel that. You walk in and you're like, okay, I can tell that Grandpa Buck died in this room.
Exactly. Oh, like the Winchester Mansion where we smelled the roses in the room where she died.
Well, or just like this house that was down the road in that other cul-de-sac that you walked in and you're like, okay, I can feel someone died in this
somebody
house.
Died right
and
here.
They totally had. It just, you could feel it.
Yep. You totally can. Like it leaves an imprint in time.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of imprints in time, that is where we need to end the show today, Nat.
That's our imprint in our podcast.
That is our imprint in time right there. That is time. Which means, do you have a thought for the end of the show?
I think I've done all the talking. How about you give us a thought?
Yeah, don't do stupid shit.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's the best one.
Don't do stupid shit. All right, that's your thought for the week. Don't do stupid shit. We love you all, and we're so grateful for your support, your love. Keep your questions and your suggestions coming. We super appreciate you. And we will see you
on the other side of the veil.